Alrighty, Giants fans, we have another move to break down. The Giants have officially signed Ricky Seals-Jones, the former Washington football team, now Washington Commanders tight end. And I first want to remind you guys to subscribe, and this is why you do so. Second video of the day, seventh video in the past couple of days. NFL free agency is wild, and it's just been 3 days throughout this cycle. So subscribe, turn your notifications on. I was driving home from work, got the push notification the Giants signed Ricky Seals-Jones. So I said, you know what? I'll get home, do a video, no fancy graphics, just me on screen talking about Ricky Seals-Jones. So let's do it. Ricky Seals-Jones was one of the guys that I thought the Giants could sign in NFL free agency. I put a video out before it started, 55 affordable Giants free agency targets that they could look at, and Ricky Seals-Jones was one of them because he's a affordable tight end, and he's someone that the Giants needed on this roster. The Giants, they cut Kyle Rudolph. They let Evan Ingram go in free agency. They cut Caden Smith. So pretty much Ricky Seals-Jones is stepping in right now to be tight end number one for the New York Giants. Maybe they could address that need in the NFL draft, and that could be your future starter. But it looks like last year, Ricky Seals-Jones played on a one-year deal with Washington for $990,000. This looks to be a one-year deal as well, and I don't expect it to be a lot of money, maybe $1 million, $2 million, something low like that. So I want you to get in the comment section and let me know. What was your one-word reaction to the deal? There's a lot of ways you can go. You guys are always colorful in the comment section. I'm very curious where you guys are going to go with this one. So let me know, what was your one-word reaction to the Giants signing Ricky Seals-Jones? Mine was yes, because I wanted Ricky Seals-Jones to be a Giant throughout the NFL free agency cycle. When I saw that the Giants missed out on signing O.J. Howard to a one-year, $3.5 million deal, I was like, you know what? I really would have liked to see the Giants pursue O.J. Howard, especially at that contract and at how much money he was getting. That's not a lot of money, and especially for a former first overall pick, that is someone I would have liked to see the Giants go after. But Ricky Seals-Jones will step in and be a solid replacement for Evan Ingram and someone that I think could pop with the New York Giants. We've seen in the past with the Buffalo Bills under Brian Dable, they've had tight ends in the past play really well. And I think that in this offense, especially under Brian Dable, that Ricky Seals-Jones could be a guy that elevates his play like Dawson Knox did this past year for Buffalo. What he did with the Washington football team this year. Remember in week 2 when he went up in the corner of the end zone and absolutely went on top of Adoree Jackson, plucked it off the top of his head and mossed him? That's the type of tight end Ricky Seals-Jones is. He's an athletic guy. He's 6'5", 243 pounds. He's athletic. He's someone that can definitely stretch the field. He can attack the seam, and you can spread him out wide and put him in a receiver type of role. And he can beat linebackers on one-on-ones because he's too fast and he's too big for safeties to guard him. He was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school, a Texas high school football legend. Shout out to those guys. I'm from Texas, so I know how good of a football player he was. And he played high school at Sealy Tech in Sealy. He played quarterback, someone that's definitely very athletic. He has the tools to be an effective tight end. This past year, he started just 6 games, but he had 30 grabs for 270 yards and 2 touchdowns, one of those being a touchdown against the New York Giants. So I want you to grade the signing for me. Not something to be super overly excited about. This isn't going to be a guy that's going to catch 80 balls for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, but can he catch 30, 35, 40 balls, 500 yards, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns? I really do think he can. So get in the comment section and let me know. Grade the signing of Ricky Seals-Jones for me. I give it about a B, a solid B signing, not a home run, not a sexy signing, not someone that's going to be an all-pro player or a Pro Bowl guy. But the Giants, they have someone on this roster who is an NFL tight end that can play, because right now they didn't have that. They let Rudolph go. Evan Ingram signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they needed to get someone in, and Ricky Seals-Jones is someone that I think can contribute. This is Jones's 5th team through his NFL career. He has 90 career grabs with 10 touchdowns. So he's produced in the National Football League. And I think it's time for Daniel Jones to get a tight end on this roster that he can grow in trust. How many times have we seen Daniel Jones interceptions happen when he would target Evan Ingram? It was Jones, fires to Ingram, and it's picked off because it bounced off Evan Ingram's hands. Too many times to remember. It's bringing back bad flashbacks already in my head. I'm not saying that Ricky Seals-Jones is going to be a guy that's going to be wearing a gold jacket in 5 years after he retires, but he is someone that Daniel Jones, I think, can rely on and build and grow with through their NFL career. It may just be a 1 year deal, and he may just spend 1 year with the New York Giants. But hey, if he plays well and he earns a future contract, this is definitely someone that Joe Schoen and Brian Dable could keep around for the future. If this is your first time watching a New York Giants Now video by Chat Sports, I want to ask you to subscribe. We're trying to get to 7,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We're growing like crazy, but we need everybody that loves the Giants and watching this video to go down and hit that big red button. If you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube for all Giants news, rumors, free agency signings, trade rumors, the NFL draft right around the corner. The Giants, they have the 5th and 7th pick, so our NFL draft coverage will be on fire. And if you're just looking for a place on YouTube for more Giants content, we're your guys, youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. Go down right now and hit that big red button. We all thought today would be the day. And another story to talk about, that James Bradberry would get traded because the new league year started and his contract officially became partially guaranteed today, just of $2 million. But some tweets came out that the Giants, that they're not going to release him. This is someone that they think is too good of a player to just let walk in free agency, release him, and move on. They want to move him in a trade. And Mike Garafolo said that they could wait all the way until the first game of the NFL season because that's when Bradberry's contract becomes official. So it could be a while. It could be all the way through the NFL offseason, the draft cycle, the second, third, and fourth wave of NFL free agency where James Bradberry is still on this team. The thing is, it's hard to trade a player like James Bradberry that has a $21 million cap hit because teams are reluctant to give up a draft asset and have to pay a guy on top of that. So it could be a while. I do inevitably think he will be traded, but it may just be for a 6th or a 7th round pick. Someone that I do think is valued across the NFL. But at the end of the day, we've seen it with the Amari Cooper deal. He only netted a 6th-round pick in a trade. Shaq Mason, he went from the New England Patriots to the Tampa Bay Bucks, one of the best interior offensive linemen in the NFL. He went for just a 5th-round pick. So everybody knows that's been paying attention through NFL free agency that teams have not been, over exuberant or reaching out to give up a draft pick on top of having to pay a player the big bucks. I do inevitably think James Bradberry will not be on the Giants next year, but just because the $21 million is too much for the Giants and Joe Schoen to afford right now, but it could be a while. So buckle up, like a wise disciple once said, buckle up, a James Bradberry trade could happen. If you like today's video, if you're glad we got you the news, I know we're not in studio and we don't got all the cool fancy graphics that we could show you. Go down and like today's video. It helps support the show. People are always asking me, yo, Marsh, how can we support the show? Like the videos, subscribe, share them to all your Giants friends, and comment down in the comment section. I appreciate everyone that's watched today's video. And give me a follow on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Trying to get to 1,000 followers. We're about 30 followers away, so we're almost there. Not only want Giants fans to follow me, so if you love the Giants, and the first place you would have heard about the Ricky Seals-Jones news is on my Twitter. So give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_.